What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and in today's video I'm going to tell you 5 tips for if your enemies are stronger than you in Guild Conquest. But first, download Bloodline Heroes of Lithas, a mobile RPG action fighting game where you can marry your champions to create new and unique hybrids. Use the link in the description to start with some free stuff, including gold and diamonds. See you hopefully soon. Alright, so I know it can be discouraging if you get into Guild Conquest and you realize that all of your opponents are seemingly stronger than you are. But it's imperative not only for yourself, but for your guild that you stay as active and engaged as possible, without just throwing your teams onto the battlefield to get destroyed by your opponents, because they actually gain a lot more points doing that than just the points that you're gaining from trying to go around and collect positions. So how do you collect positions without giving points to your opponents? With these 5 tips, I'm hoping to show you. I'm going to go to my weakest team here, and the first tip is to plan your path carefully. I see a lot of people just select a target and then click go to, and that is wrong. What you should do is select a node close to you, click your team, pick the node, and then go around and select the path that you want your team to go, like this. Okay, but part of picking a path carefully is also looking at who the opponents are on your path. I can see I've got one there, so I need to see, is that an opponent I can take on or not? So I'm gonna look, and I can see that they're 26 million power. So yeah, my team's 28 million power. I think I have a good chance of taking that. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. It's close, but I can try. And this one here is 61 million power. So there's no way I am taking that position. I've got to avoid that one. So let's go back to the node and start planning the path. Here we go. And I can see my teammates are already going around. You probably want to avoid like where your teammates are going to, so you can cover more ground. It's important to communicate. But I think I can take that guy. So I'm going to take him. And then the second tip is actually related to what I'm doing here, which is to take as many towers as possible. You can see I've planned the path to take 2 of them. And that's because not only do they earn you more points, but they give you other benefits too, like increased strength for the whole guild or amethyst, you know, things like that that are really important to helping your team win. The third tip is to protect your team. So as you've probably noticed in Guild Conquest, the gates open at different intervals. And I'm too far into this particular war to show you what I mean, but the last gates to open are the ones that are closest to your base. So for most of the war, you can actually take your weakest team and plan a route like this to end at a gate, just like that your enemies can't attack. So they won't get points. You'll get all the points from taking the towers, but then they won't get points from defeating your team. And that's a really important part of protecting your team. So I'm going to go ahead and click confirm. I want my weakest team to go around that way. I think I can defeat one team on the path, but I'm going to avoid the stronger team there. Tip number 4 is to use March acceleration cards. Since my team is weaker, it's entirely possible for my opponents, like this guy here, potentially, who's 32 million power, to see that I am sending a team out, or perhaps there's another one up here that wants to intercept my team. So to make sure that I get the whole way around as quickly as I can, maybe I use a March acceleration card or 2 or 3 even, depending on how many you have access to get around quicker and protect your team. And then the 5th tip, if you're having a really hard time, is to set rallies to beat tougher teams. One thing you're going to find a lot, especially if your guild is one of the weaker ones in the battle, is that an opposing team will put their like strongest team right on your tower here, blocking you in, and perhaps they'll put other teams around it as well so you can't get out of your base. I don't see people use rallies enough. You don't have to have your whole guild join you in a rally either, but you like double the amount of power of your teams and you can beat tougher teams by setting rallies. You can actually see I have an opponent doing it right now. Do you see the little rally troops button going? So that's up here. I actually have parked my team right here because I want to just totally block purple from getting out of their base. Now, to truly block them, you'd have to also put strong teams around the other locations there. But a lot of teams have to go through this middle section. And so some people who aren't following the tips that I'm giving you today and just set targets and go often will run into my team and I get lots of points just sitting here. But my opponent's having trouble with that. They've already tried it a few times. I've gotten a lot of points doing that. See, I'm already up to like rank number 2. Somebody else in my guild is rank number 1 because I've just sat here and my team's been defeating them. But what they've done is they've set a rally now that is going after A006, which is where I've parked my team, and they're going to come out and try to take over that. I've actually got to watch this timer. I'm probably going to move my team out of the way when they start, depending on how many and how tough the teams are in the rally. But that's a great way to break through a position that you can't get out of, even if you're weaker than the opponents that you're facing. All right, I hope these tips help. Please let me know in the comments. Share with each other other tips that you might have. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.